Welcome back, bookworms. Another deep dive with us, Cliffhangers and Page Turners.
Episode 8, can you believe it?
Crazy. We've got, a really interesting one to talk about today.
I think interesting is one way to put it.
Yeah.
Definitely a highly anticipated one. Lots of buzz.
Tons of buzz, yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, my initial reaction, I don't know.
Really?
It's complicated.
Intriguing.
Yeah. Today we're jumping into Suzanne Collins' new Hunger Games prequel, Sunrise on the Reaping. This one, it was a tough one for me.
Yeah, I kind of got that impression.
But for those of you joining us who, haven't read it yet, Suzanne Collins, she also wrote The Hunger Games. And this is a prequel.
Way back in the timeline?
Yeah. It's, before Katniss Everdeen. And we get to see a young Hamish Abernathy in District 12 before he was, that mentor we all remember.
Before the cynicism and the drinking.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And we really see his world before the games. All those little details, like his interactions with the people in District 12, Hattie, who runs a stall, even his relationship with Lenore Dove.
And, of course, that looming threat of the 50th Hunger Games, the second quarter quell.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty heavy stuff.
For sure.
We'll also see how, District 12 is both familiar and different from what we're used to from Katniss's time. So to start with, Hamish's early life there. What do we learn?
Well, we find out that Hamish's birthday, it actually falls on the day of the reaping. Kind of sets the scene, doesn't it? This annual day of fear mixed with his birthday.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a dark cloud.
Right. Not exactly a happy occasion. It definitely tells you something about life in District 12.
For sure. And we get those glimpses of, his day-to-day life. Like, take his conversations with Hattie. She runs that stall. And it feels like she's kind of secretly looking out for him.
I thought that too. She offers him these small acts of kindness, almost like dot-coded messages. Cracked corn for Lenore Dove's geese. Yeast for trading.
And then there's that white liquor she gives him for his birthday.
Which is interesting.
Happy birthday, kid. Here's some booze.
Harsh reality, right. I mean, if you're old enough to live in this world, you're old enough to drink. That's the message.
But here's the thing. Hamish doesn't seem like much of a drinker at this point. He's more like, how can I use this?
Totally. It's a gift, sure, but it also gives Hamish a decision to make. Does he drink it himself? Trade it? Maybe even use it to get on good terms with Lenore's uncle, Clerk Carmine.
Oh, yeah, that Clerk Carmine. Their relationship is tense.
To say the least. The Abernathy family, they have this scent of sedition around them.
Yeah, a mark against them, even years later. And the whole mystery surrounding Hamish's father's death in the mines.
Yeah.
Accident, sabotage, who knows?
Exactly. It casts a shadow over everything. And that comment Carmine makes to Lenore Dove, Hamish is the kind that died young. Chilling.
Seriously. It's less a prediction, more like a threat almost. Like he knows something we don't.
It really shows how the capital's oppression impacts even personal relationships,
Absolutely. It's a constant reminder of how precarious life is in District 12. But then we get those moments, like when Hamish and Burdock are in the woods, Burdock singing, attracting mockingjays.
A moment of peace.
Right, and it's so brief,
It's disrupted by that apple falling on Burdock's head. And then they run into that girl in the tree.
Ooh, what'd you make of her?
I think she's interesting. Questioning the timing of the reaping on Hamish's birthday. She points out the games are a recent invention, 50 years compared to centuries of the reaping.
Like highlighting the randomness of it all.
Yeah, and the capital's control.
Yeah.
Even away from the peacekeepers, people have these doubts.
Right, and that contrast, the girl speaks out in private but stays quiet in public. It really shows the climate of fear.
And Hamish, he actually listens, thinks about it.
Yeah, for a second. But then he's like, nah, the capital's too strong.
That pragmatism, or maybe cynicism, he can't imagine a world without the reaping.
Totally. And that leads us right into the reaping itself. All that fear, all that dread.
Heavy stuff.
Mm.
And Hamish's thoughts are with Wyatt Callow, who just turned 18, probably in the mines now.
It's that moment where he's relieved it's not him, but also feeling bad for Wyatt.
It's complex, right? The relief, the guilt, and then Wyatt's so close to aging out, too.
So close. And Hamish is just praying it's not him or Lenore Dove.
He even imagines them together, in the woods. But it feels so fragile, like a dream that can be snatched away.
Yeah. And then, things get brutal. Woodbine trying to escape.
And the peacekeeper shooting him right there on the roof. No hesitation.
Horrifying. And they cut the feed immediately. Like they want to control what people see.
Absolutely. Total control.
Okay.
And that's when Hamish jumps in, tries to protect Lenore Dove.
He can't just stand there and watch. But it backfires big time. Rifle butt to the head. peacekeepers swarming him.
And then that image, dropped in front of a pair of yellow boots.
Those boots dot authority, power. He's completely at their mercy.
And behind the scenes, we see Drusilla and Plutarch.
Oh, those two. Calculating, cold.
Plutarch wants footage of the peacekeepers in action, pushing that no peacekeeper, no peace narrative.
And Drusilla, she just wants to get it over with. They don't care about the people at all.
Not one bit. And then they call Wyatt Callow's name. And then Haymitch.
Like, it's nothing. And Drusilla complaining about Haymitch's name being too long? I mean, seriously.
The dehumanization is just, it's sickening.
Totally. And the countdown starts. The tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife.
Drusilla demanding silence, threatening the crowd. A peacekeeper fires a shot into the air. A hovercraft roars overhead.
It's all intimidation, control. Haymitch, he's terrified. He remembers Woodbine.
He knows what they're capable of. And then his face on the screen. Drusilla looking right at him.
And he has to walk towards the stage. No choice. Resign.
And they show Lenore Dove, hand over her mouth, but no tears.
So strong, they both are. No crying, no emotional breakdown for the cameras.
It won't give him that. And then Drusilla's announcement, may the odds be ever in your favor. So fake.
I know. Chilling, right? And then the chaos after the reaping.
The peacekeepers shoving people, everyone just trying to get away.
And Haymitch, he sees Lenore Dove being held back and he freaks out.
Of course.
Yeah.
He just went through that himself. And then Clerk Carmine steps in with Tam Amber.
They bribe the peacekeeper.
Who knows what deals were made?
Seriously. And Plutarch, cold as ever, wants those reaction shots of Haymitch's family in exchange for a few minutes with him.
The Capitol just using everyone.
Yeah, awful. But that moment with his younger brother, Sid, that got me.
So much emotion packed in there.
Haymitch calls Sid the man of the house, praises his intelligence. I think even with everything going on, he's trying to reassure his family.
And that final hug with his mother. Heartbreaking.
Yeah. Lenore Dove's free, but then she's gone, whisked away by her uncles.
It's over, just like that. Their lives changed forever.
So Haymitch boards the train to the Capitol. We meet the other tributes, the escorts. It really shows the differences between the districts.
Right. You have Maisley Donner mentioning they didn't get napkins. Plutarch just brushes her off. Doesn't even care.
The Capitol doesn't think twice about the basic needs of the tributes.
And Maisley gives Luella advice. Tells her not to let the Capitol treat them like animals. Which, sounds like decent advice. But Haymitch is not so sure about aligning with her.
It's like he's already suspicious, like he can't trust anyone.
Yeah, he's on guard. Then we meet Wyatt Callow, the odds maker.
That disappearing coin trick.
A glimpse into the betting world surrounding the games. He's resourceful, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then Maisley overhears them. Doesn't seem too keen on being allies either.
They're all already sizing each other up. And those banners at the Capitol Station, no peace, no prosperity, no Hunger Games, no peace.
The Capitol justifying their actions.
To their own people, they've got to convince everyone that this is all necessary.
Propaganda at its finest. And for Haymitch and Luella, they've no mentor, no past victor from District 12.
Talk about a disadvantage.
Like a huge one.
Yeah.
And then we see Haymitch's birthday in the Capitol. Plutarch gives him a cake, but it feels so insincere.
It's cruel, a reminder of everything he's facing. But the fact that no one else touches the cake, I thought that was interesting.
A subtle show of solidarity. They're all facing the same fate.
Right. And they get a stylist, even without a mentor. The Capitol loves the spectacle of it all.
Absolutely.
But throughout all of this, Haymitch holds onto that necklace from Lenore Dove, whispers her name.
He's holding on to that connection, a reminder of what he's fighting for.
Even though it feels impossible. And then we see the other tributes arrive. Juvinia, the escort from District 1, and her tributes. Huge.
Panache Barker, remember him? Career tribute, kicks out a train window. Just to show he can.
What a jerk.
Wyatt observes him quietly,
Right.
knows his lineage, knows he's a hothead, sees right through him.
He doesn't miss a thing.
And then Wyatt tells Haymitch and Luella, you might not want me, but you need me.
That's Wyatt for you.
Yeah.
Straight to the point. He knows how to play the game.
He does. And those poor District 12 tributes, they arrive last at the training center. The career tributes taunt them. They're already at the bottom of the pecking order.
It's brutal. And that training center, it sounds sterile and cold. Just rows of padded tables separated by curtains.
Dehumanizing.
Yeah. And then the boys and girls are separated.
And Haymitch is worried about Luella. He hopes Maisley might look out for her, even though he doesn't fully trust her.
He's trying to find any kind of protection, any kind of ally in this insane situation.
Yeah, Haymitch is learning fast. He has to.
Wow. Well, that was a lot.
It really was.
Seeing all of this, it really sheds light on the Haymitch we know from the Hunger Games, right?
Definitely. You can see where the cynicism comes from.
Yeah.
But also that protectiveness, that resilience. Those qualities were there even before the games.
I think so, too. So, wow, what a beginning. Brutal, terrifying, but also hopeful, maybe?
In a way, yeah. Haymitch and Lenore Dove, they have this spark, this connection, and they're not giving up.
Right. What about you all? What stuck with you about this younger version of Haymitch? Anything surprise you? Let us know in the comments.
And if you enjoyed this talk about Sunrise on the Reaping, please hit that like button and subscribe to keep up with our future discussions.
Absolutely. Next week, we're diving into something totally different. Toothsucker by Kaden Love.
Another wild ride, I'm sure.
So make sure to join us for that. Thanks for tuning in to Cliffhangers and Page Turners, and happy reading.